Hello everybody and welcome to Drink Your Milk. I'm Mariana. It's Tuesday, so let's get things started. First of all, I would like to take this time to thank all of you lovely Vita people for coming over here to see my Tuesday video. Please leave comments so that I know that people actually came over here to watch this video. If not, I will feel very awkward and I'm afraid people will make fun of me. This week, we were talking about books and our favorite books. And I would just like to take the time to say that you guys are not allowed to make fun of me for the books I like because I know they may seem boring and I know that they're probably not the thing you would want to pick up on a lazy Sunday, but they are amazing books and that is why they have been around for such a long time. First book I would like to mention is not boring. Nobody ever thinks this book is boring. And Tim, I am not copying you. As soon as I saw you pick that book up, I kind of slapped the monitor a little bit because it's like, no book, that's my Tim. No, Tim, that's my book. Ender's Game I picked up when I was like 8 or 9. I read it. I was absolutely amazed by it. I don't think I understood what it was about at all because later in junior high and like ninth grade, I picked it up again and I read it and I was like, oh my god, this is not the book I read when I was 9 years old. And I think that's why Ender's Game is such an amazing book. It's amazing on a literature level where it has such amazing symbols and the questions that it asks are like definitely things you want to think about, but it's also amazing in the fact that anybody could read this book and think it's amazing, and I feel like people should read this and then reread it and then reread it until they understand why it's such an amazing book. This is the book that I pick up late nights when I'm bored and I don't want to watch another YouTube video or read another blog post. Another book favorite of mine is Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. Like, I just don't even know how to explain this book. Like, books I like, I don't even know how to explain. Like, I could talk about them for ages, but I don't even know how to explain why I love them so much. And you can tell it, I definitely love it. It's stickied. Like, look at all these sticky notes. I love this book. I could talk about the symbolism and the imagery forever. The color blue, blindness, light, stuff like that. This is a good book. If you want to read it, you should read it. I recommend it. Another book that I love that people might not understand why I love it because when they hear about it, they think it's kind of gross is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. And it is about a pedophile and about like the girl he idolizes. And I know when you hear that, you're like, why would I want to read a book about a pedophile? I don't even know how to like explain this. This book is so beautifully written. And I know that sounds kind of gross considering what it is about, but it is so beautifully written. And the fact is that English wasn't even this guy's first language. I could never write something this eloquent and beautiful in my life. And I guess English isn't my first language either, but it's a lot more impressive. Another book, which is not actually a book, but more of a graphic novel, which everybody will be able to understand, is Watchmen. And this is like the most beautiful thing I've ever read too. Like, if you've watched the movie and you haven't read the comic, please do not judge this by what the movie was. The movie was okay. This is amazing, beautifully written. I can't imagine why they're making sequels, prequels to it, since this is just such a standalone piece of work. It is the greatest piece of popular fiction ever produced. It's a masterwork representing an apex of artistry. Last but not least, Heart of Darkness. People don't understand this, except for, like, my boyfriend, and he's an English major, so yeah. Heart of Darkness is my absolute favorite book ever. I don't even know how to explain it. There's so much imagery, so much symbolism. I could just get lost in this book for days looking for it, interpreting it, and that is why I love this book because I feel like I will never be done reading this book. Every time I open it and read it, I get something completely new and it is amazing, and this book has made me think more about things than any other book I've ever read. And so I love it. My mom just came in. That's kind of embarrassing. Before I go, another like mentionable book that I don't currently own, but am gonna get my hands on as soon as I get around to it is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Cormac McCarthy is like my modern day author crush, I guess. Everything he writes I feel is gold, and I would really love to know what your guys' favorite books are in the comments, and obviously what you guys what the rest of you guys on your respecting weekdays. This video is really long, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say I loved all of your videos last week and yesterday, Tim, and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye in my last video, but that's because the file became corrupted and it was really weird and stuff. Magali, where were you? And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Miriam. Oh, and for all of you guys who didn't know, I'm currently doing Vita, so yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and check out my videos for the month, I would love it if you guys would. Link to stuff somewhere. I hope you guys have an incredibly awesome day, and remember to drink your milk, or else. Bye.